Falcons preseason game 1 is in the books. We've got some film to look through, and everyone, primarily, I think I can speak for everyone, is excited to see what the new defense, the revamped defense, looks like. I'm not going to go through the entire defense because we didn't have a lot of the starters in the secondary. I am primarily looking at the front, the defensive tackles, the edge rushers, James Pierce Jr., Jalen Walker, our first two first rounders, and what they are doing and what is being asked of them from Coach Ulbrich and Coach Nate Ollie. Everything I saw, it's good things coming. There is a reason everyone in camp is excited and why. It just feels completely different this year for the Atlanta Falcons. And on a positive note, if you did watch the game, you know that the game was ended shortly due to a gruesome and terrifying injury for Lions defensive back Maurice Morris. He is awake and well and is expected to make a full recovery. But without further ado, let's get into it. First drive of the game for the Lions. It's 3rd and long, and the Falcons get off the field, something they struggled with for a long time, last year specifically. So what do? And right here, you're taking a look at what possibly could be the Falcons NASCAR package. You got JPJ here, Brandon Dorless, Rook Oro, and AK right here. Something I saw Jeff Ulbrich call a lot was the linebacker mugged up here. So is he going to go? Is he going to drop? You don't know until the play happens. Now, a lot of it was that he would drop out, so there was only 4 rushing, but expect that look to happen, and then you'll mix it in with simulated pressures, you'll mix it in with 5-man rushes, whatever the case may be. Another thing, attacking style front, right? How can you tell it's an attacking style front? Just look at the guy's stance. Butts in the air, 4-point stance, weights forward on the hands. It's a track meet stance. They're looking to just get off the ball and fire off. The Falcons are overloading one side of the line. Actually, Brandon is going to stunt right here. And the Falcons do such a good job of collapsing the pocket. Hendon feels the pressure. There's Rook's hand right here. This side. And normally, we talked about this, is he'd be able to, he's an athletic quarterback. He'd be able to get up through there. Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, get up the field, get a first down, huge chunk play. But Brandon Dorless, man, he had a hell of a game. Squares up the center, keeps his eyes at where the quarterback is. He's going to shed and peel off, try and make the tackle. Doesn't make it. Maybe gets a little face mask, but slows Hooker down enough to allow Josh Woods to punch the ball out, create a turnover, and it's already a fumble, forced fumble, and fumble recovery to start the game. Second drive of the game for the Lions. They come out in 12 personnel. They're going to be running a split zone action. So what does that mean? For those of you that don't know what split zone is, it is like an outside zone blocking scheme, right? He's going to reach here, reach, block, reach, reach, reach. And then this tight end, what is he doing? He's screaming down the line, trying to kick out James Pierce Jr. Right? This is also the first time we see Jalen Walker on the field. And so everybody has to make sure that they don't get reached on the block. You got to stay in your gap, right? One of the biggest question marks was, can Jalen Walker hold up against the bigger offensive tackles? Okay? Let's look. Right as the ball is handed off, James Pierce Jr. hurdles the guy. Completely clears him. Eyes on the running back. He's going to come down and try and make the tackle. And then here's Jalen Walker. Anchors down that outside foot, stays square to the line, and he's got his eyes on the running back. So if that running back, which the hole is right here, he's getting invited to come right here. If he decides that he wants to try and bounce it outside because Josh Woods is there, well, Jalen can shed his block and go make the tackle. This is textbook right here. But Brandon Dorless, having a phenomenal game, is able to press his guy off, the guard, find the running back, and then peel off and make the tackle for no gain. Like, this is textbook run defense, and everyone is bought in, and it's exciting. This one I just want to show you, like I talked about a play or two ago, the mug look that Jeff Ulbrich is going to be bringing. Got both linebackers up here. This is Divine Diablo, Caden Ellis type territory. Are they going to come? Are they not? Is it simulated? Is someone going to drop? Because both of the outside backers, a.k.a. James Pierce Jr., they're in a 2-point stance, so that they could end up dropping, right? Nothing that says that they can't. But in this play, it's a 4-man rush. Zach Harrison right here, Brandon Dorless, AK. They're just trying to collapse the pocket and get to the quarterback. Both backers end up dropping into coverage. And it wasn't really a pressure on this play, but I just wanted to showcase it on what the Falcons could potentially do. And luckily for us, we had DeMarco Helms right there laying the wood all game. I think this is the third drive of the game. The Lions come out in 21 personnel. Hooker checks the play to a run play. H-back motions to the backfield. So what are they doing? They're running inside zone. Okay, what's the blocking assignment? Here, go, reach, boom, boom to the backer, kick out to allow that H-back to come in here and kick out the safety, the linebacker, whoever's there. First person he sees, his job is to kick out, and the running back is following through. Okay? This play is a hell of a play by both Rook right here and Jalen Walker, a combination of the two. Because this tight end's responsibility is to get under, scoop Jalen Walker, and wall him off to allow that H to come in here and block whoever's there, right? So the H can wash him out or kick him in, just find a spot, and then the running back cuts from there. Jalen is able to get up the field and fight through and win on the inside shoulder and stay square. So then the H is coming in here, and he sees Jalen. So that's his first instinct, is to block him and wash him down. Jalen doesn't move. Jalen squares up, and that leaves nothing but the running back to have to either bounce it outside or cut it back in. Now, so watch. As the play is developing, right, the ball isn't handed off. Jalen's one. He's looking right here. He sees the guy going to come in and block. Rook also sees the running back, okay? Even though Rook technically is reached, not really, because that's the gap he was playing. So Rook is patient and waits, but at the same time, he's pressing his man to the hole, to the gap, to not make it as large, make it smaller, make the window so small that the running back has to decide whether or not he just wants to go into the pile or cut it elsewhere. Let's watch what the running back decides to do. Well, because Jalen won, there's nothing here, right? Right, this was supposed to be the valley, right? Jalen beat his man. Well, he cuts it this way, but he doesn't realize Rook is waiting for him. Rook does a great job shedding his man and making the tackle for no gain. Excellent, excellent run defense from these guys. Third down and long, right? We talk about how the Falcons notoriously would give up big chunk plays. And although the coverage did break down at times, the coverage in this first preseason game was really good. Because initially, the pass rush wasn't there. Like, Hooker had a clean pocket. And what the Falcons are going to be running is just a wide 9, 4-man rush, right? And what do I mean by wide 9, all right? If there was a tight end here, outside shade, right? Outside shade by both edge rushers. James is going to go here. Brandon's here. It's actually an inside stunt to try and clog the middle by both defensive tackles. They're going there, right? But the Lions' offensive line does a really good job of creating that pocket, and there's nothing there. Now, let me back up a little bit. So, I think someone messed up here. It was either Jalen or D'Angelo Malone. And I want to say it's D'Angelo Malone because he is learning a new position playing inside backer. Jalen looks like he's about to rush, but then when this running back peels off, so does he. But then so is D'Angelo Malone. You don't need two guys covering a running back, right? So to me, that tells me that D'Angelo is running here, supposed to be blitzing, right? Jalen is supposed to be rushing unless this running back peels out into the flat, right? It's a two-way. So if he goes into the flat, that's Jalen. If he checks down right here, that's D'Angelo. Does that make sense? Yes, it does. I'm just kidding. I hope it makes sense. So someone messes up. So there's only a 3-man pressure, and it's all coming from the left side. But because James Pierce Jr., even though he gets chipped, keeps fighting, right? The pocket is here. But James has beaten his man, hand fighting, winning. He's coming here. Brandon's coming here. Hooker finds or feels it. He has a good feel for it. So he drifts to his left. And because the coverage is so good, he has nothing to do but check it down. And then Josh Woods makes a hell of a tackle. Minimal gain and gets the Falcons off the field. Great stuff. This attacking style front is going to fit really well into what the Falcons defensive front is built like, okay? So David Onyemata didn't play, but I'm going to assume that he's going to be playing the role TQ Graham is, and that's where David Onyemata primarily is going to be. And an attacking style front, it's really good for him. You know, sitting back in a frog stance, thinking, it just does no justice. So what the Lions are running here is outside zone, right? Here, reach, dip up, and then this guy's got to reach. It's a tall assignment. He's going to reach here. Jalen's responsibility is just to squeeze the line of scrimmage, and then if it's a bootleg action, come up the field and pressure the quarterback, okay? You can't just turn and run, right? And he does a good job. He doesn't scream down the field. He looks at what's going on. Once he sees the ball's handed off, he comes and tries and help, okay? Now, as a defensive lineman, you're firing off the ball, right? But you're also taught to keep your gap integrity, and you're taught to stay skinny. And you'll see what I'm talking about as the ball is snapped. Here, boom. Okay. Everyone's got their gap, right? You've got the leverage. You're keeping your outside shoulder clean. You're keeping your outside shoulder clean. Here's Jalen Walker squeezing the line. Linebackers are flowing, right? JPJ is keeping that outside shoulder clean. Getting skinny is exactly what TQ Graham did here. Something you're taught, right? The offensive linemen, whether it's pass blocking or run blocking, they want to grab the front of your plate, your shoulder pads, right here, right? They want to grab you. That's where their holding is, and that's how they get away with it so much. If you turn your back because you're getting skinny through that line, you're not giving them anything to block. And if the running back is flowing and you get up the field in an attacking style front, well, what TQ Graham did here is what happens. A tackle for loss. Insane. Love it. This is the type of stuff that makes me laugh. And you know, a level of optimism is brought into my heart of what Jeff Ulbrich can do. Okay? Once again, double mug look, right? Okay? They're dropping. They're not coming. But what is happening is this right here. A double loop. Now, whether or not that was right or someone messed up, I don't know. But I want you to see after the ball is snapped, what Hendon Hooker is faced with. So, boom, right there. This is your traditional pick style play. And Brandon Dorless, oh my gosh, what a fantastic job. Completely levels what looks like the center, I think it is. Levels the center, eats up the guard, and then the tackle, well, he sees a looper. He's thinking someone's coming back. So that's why he's not turned fully. He's waiting for someone to come this way. Well, both defensive tackle Rook Oro and then James Pierce Jr. loop around, right? This guard is going to do well. He's going to pick up Rook, but they don't realize that James Pierce Jr. is looping around as well. On top of AK beating his man completely to the edge, Hendon sees it, and then he just bails. Now, we do lose contain on the play. You got to make the sack, right? But look right there, all in his face. He can't step up. He's immediately thinking, I got to get out of here. And he does. Josh Woods also played a really good game. Does a really good job wrapping up. And this was on third down. And once again, Falcons get off the field. This may have been AK's coming out party. I know some people complain like AK's the vet. Get Jalen Walker in there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I could see the argument. But at the same time, Jalen Walker's learning the edge rush position, his hand placement, when to, combine certain pass rush moves. And if you think about it, we need AK like going into the season ready and primed. So the Lions, they're drawing up a pass play. They're in the red zone, trying to do something here. And what the Falcons, or what they end up doing, is they're sliding left, right? They're protecting gaps, slide left, which means that this offensive tackle is going to be one-on-one with AK. He's got to win, right? And I want you to look at the edge rushers on both of these. Ball is snapped. Boom. AK hits him with a nice double cross chop, rips under. And if you've played ball, this is a terrible position to be as an offensive tackle. A terrible spot. AK's beating his man in a matter of split seconds. TQ's swimming back across, right? There is a little bit of a valley, but that's where Hendon Hooker's looking. And although JPJ's face is in the middle of the offensive tackle, watch as the play progresses. He is able to rip, okay? He's able to rip up under, so he's got a clean vision, right? TQ's pressuring here. Here comes pressure here. Only thing that could have been better is Lakel London peeling back here, and then there's nowhere for the quarterback to go. This was AK's biggest play of the game. Strip sack, fumble, TQ hops on it. Red zone turnover, what you want. Now, this next play is not really a positive play for the Falcons. I just want to show you guys, for JPJ's sake, what type of pass rusher he is and why he's going to show people why the Falcons traded up back into the first round to go get him, and why people should have taken him sooner than the Falcons did. So initially, he's going to lose here, but he's going to hand fight, and he's going to work back in and beat the offensive tackle. A split second longer if the quarterback holds the ball, that's a sack. But it's a matter of game of inches and timing. So I want you to watch JPJ on the left. Boom. He's in the chest of the offensive tackle. And then what he does is he dislodges the hands, right? This hand is no longer connected onto JPJ's body. Swipes at them. And then works back inside and swims. And he's got a clear path at the quarterback. And JPJ is fast. So that closing speed, he was going to get a quarterback hit. Kyle Allen just happened to release it just in time for a big play for the Lions. But these are good things, good traits that you're seeing from JPJ that you want right before the half, right? There's about 20 seconds left or so. I'm not sure how much time was left. And the Lions are trying to do anything to try and just move the ball, see if something good can happen for them. And I think the Falcons showed you what their future is on the pass rush, okay? JPJ. Brandon Dorless, Rook Oro, and Jalen Walker. That is your future pass rush, right? Second year guy, first year, rookie. Okay? This is the Brandon Dorless game. And let's watch the play transpire. As the ball is snapped, boom. Everyone does a really good job. Pocket is clean right now. Okay? Jalen is having to fight off a chip. They chipped him here, and he had to spill back over. Well, now the guard sees that, so he's going to work here. Now that leaves Rook one-on-one, Brandon one-on-one, and James Pierce Jr. one-on-one. That's a good spot to be in if your pass rushing guys can be one-on-one. And even then, dude, this pocket is collapsing because Jalen Walker is able to fight through that double team. James is, even though he's gotten up the field, he's starting to squeeze here. Brandon's coming here because he just beat his man on a beautiful swim move. Is that Tate Ratledge there? I think it is. He beats him on a swim move. Rook's got his eyes here. He doesn't want to lose his gap. And as the ball comes here, right, Rook sees the quarterback stepping up, so he's peeling off. But Brandon gets his hand in there, gets credited with the sack, the forced fumble. We didn't recover it, but hey, that is the future of the Falcons defense.